Don't Sports Talk worldwide with some news from the world of boxing, so y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. All right, heavyweights, and it's gonna be going down. We talked about it. You know what I mean? So it's a little Tyson Fury up in here. You know, Tyson Fury is like he's chill when it comes to the Deontay Wilder negotiations. I told you it might be a little problem, right? Going with these, it didn't go quick. Remember the first one went so quick. This was a little something, a little shaky. Who knows? But he's like, hey, it's don't matter if you have it or not, because he says, shoot, Wilder has to redeem himself, not me. Right? Shoot, Wilder got to redeem himself, not me. So I told you that's probably what he's going to be thinking, and that's probably filtering into the negotiations. Hence, they ain't over yet. Right? So, that's the deal. But I would rather, and I'm going to be honest, I would rather have Fury be talking like this. I'm bigger than everybody. Right? So I'm about to walk this dude down, and I'm sick. He had me on the ground twice, and I don't like it. I'm going in here to take this dude up out of here. Right? That's how you want to be talking. Right? Because as big as he is, normally the other guys that might fight like a Tyson Fury, jab, stay on the outside, do some things, smother you if he has to, whatever. All those wonderful things that can negate your offense. But when you 6'9", 270, you lean back, it's hard to hit you in the first place. Right? So what these things would deem boring with other fighters that are fighting people the same size. And the biggest dude out here is fighting this style, which I'm with personally. It's just a lot of narrative, and it just doesn't, fit. It's we use it sometimes, and then sometimes we don't. That's the only thing going on there. Tyson Fury handled his business, but I would like to hear him be like talking about, well, if I did feel like I won it, I didn't feel like I dominated nobody, and I was down twice. So and I didn't get the belts. So I'm going to get him. I'm about to go destroy him. That's the kind of thing I would rather hear from him. But okay, why wouldn't he? It's the narrative everywhere. Tyson Fury really won the fight, right? But my point was, in anybody's universe, it's barely. It's hard to win a fight being knocked down 2 times in different rounds, right? So basically, like I said on many occasions, everyone's saying those rounds that Wilder knocked him down are the only ones he won. That's the only way you can come up with that conclusion. Because if you give Wilder 2 rounds, any rounds, then there you have it. So, and then he's the champ. So whatever to that. But it's just some other fights that, you want to talk about the narrative going in and how you can feel like this certain person can fight a certain way and get away with it, and the other one would be deemed boring or whatever. If you look at Andre Ward and Kovalev, right? Andre Ward and Kovalev, smaller guys coming up in weight to fight a monster for a fight that they call pound for pound. That was going to be the pound for pound fight. Andre Ward barely wins the first fight. What happens? There's an outrage. An outrage. Didn't say pound for pound. Didn't say, well, you know what? Since he barely won it, but he is the one coming up. The other one is the monster that was going to knock him out. That's the narrative going into the fight. He's going to knock him out. Right? He's going to be too small. Has too much power coming up fighting the Crusher. So he goes up there and handles his business and barely wins the fight, even being down. But barely wins it, gets the nod. No one's rejoicing that the little guy won. You better get in there and forget that pound for pound thing we called the fight. Forget that, because the wrong man won. We ain't scratch that. Let's do another one quickly to make sure these people can calm down. Right? Goes in there, dominates that one, and they start talking about low blows and stuff like that. Right? Just give them the love. But, a lot of times people talk about these kind of fights, and they talk about things that happen after. The narrative up to the fight was Andre Ward going to get knocked out. He handled his business. He wasn't too happy about it. Dimitri Andrade, last week, beats Akharov. And he beats him, dominates him. What do we see? Articles of why he didn't get him out of there. That was a boring performance. It's a masterful performance against a guy that Billy Joe Saunders had all problems all night long with. Dominates him. Totally. And the narrative is he didn't get him out of there. Boring fight. Golovkin don't even need to fight him, even though he's a WBO champ. That's what happens to him. You know what I mean? Remember Bradley fighting Pacquiao? Brother wins the fight, gets the fight from Pacquiao. What happens? He gets death threats. There's the outrage that they gave him the fight. Matter of fact, he sprained both ankles in the fight, hung in there. Probably, got the nod. You give brother a nod, what happens? Outrage in that fight, right? Now, another fight, Gennady Golovkin, Danny Jacobs, right? Golovkin's on a knockout streak. I forget how many, what was it, 23 something knockout streak in a row. Get in there with Jacobs. Jacobs arguably wins the fight after being down. Arguably wins the fight. What happens on that close fight like that, where I watched the English feed, told you the England had him winning, for example, and he only lost by 1 point. Normally you would want to see that fight again, a rematch, like you did with Ward and Kovalev, right? No one ever asked about it. Gennady Golovkin said after the fight, shoot, we ain't gonna readdress that to 5 or 6 fights down the road. And I told y'all 1,000 times, that means never when you're 35 years old. That's what happened there. Did the fans want to see that fight? No. Didn't mean you have to go back on it. But then you take Jacobs and put him against Derevyanchenko. Jacob beats Derevyanchenko handily, right? In a close fight, but handily. More than Gennady Golovkin beat Jacobs. Way more. People want to see that. You got to readdress that, man. What's up with you? Readdress that. But if you look at Lara and Canelo, right? Close fight. People had Lara winning. Canelo don't have to readdress that fight. Probably ever. Exactly like Trout. Nobody cares about open scoring with Canelo and Trout. Open scoring, right? I keep mentioning it, but a lot of times you got to think about that. You win 4 rounds. We're going to keep talking about that because this is Austin Trout's moment. Right? He's a champion about to beat Canelo. And they tell him after 4 rounds, you ain't won none. And I challenge anybody to go watch the first 4 rounds of Canelo and Trout and tell me that Austin Trout did not win a round. That's what they told him. And that messed everything up. He had to change his game plan. It doesn't count for me. Man, people that like stuff like that, whatever. But it's up for me, it doesn't count. Stuff like that. That's not right. So if you can think that that's right, then okay, well, there's no discussion there. Then but it's not fair. So there's a problem. But if you look at Charlo versus Korobov in that fight, close fight, Charlo gets the nod. He got, instead of, people don't want to even see Charlo fights Golovkin. Or rematch Korobov. Golovkin don't have to rematch Jacobs, but you rematch Korobov instead of handling your business. Right? Rigo. Guillermo Rigondeaux. Nonito Donaire. Nonito Donaire is the baddest dude out there, about to be number 1 pound for pound. Rigo's smaller than him. Beats him up bad. Right? Donaire had lost like 1 fight up until then. What happens? They mad at Rigo. Call him boring. You just beat up a big old dude. That is the pound for pound. What you're supposed to do is say, boom, the new king is here. Rigondeaux. Get used to it. Whether the demographic likes it or not. That's what you do. You crown the best guy, if you're being fair. If there's nothing else there. But you don't. He beat Donaire. And what did y'all do? Get the hell out of here. That's what you did. And he told everybody he's boring and nobody wants to come around. When we just mention Rigondeaux, they don't want to see the fight. If boxing fans don't want to see Rigondeaux, that's not boxing fans. Then change it to something else. It's another name for that. You can't not want to see the best boxers that are out there for other reasons. All right? Let's go to Terrence Crawford and Victor Postol. Crawford don't really even get credit for that fight, but being Postol like he should have. Because people Postol lost again after that. Right? No, but up until then, wasn't he undefeated? Wasn't he the one that everybody was saying, Danny Garcia don't want to fight? He left the division to not fight Postol. Ain't nobody want none of him. Me, I'm in the background. Ukraine, bring the pain. You know what I'm saying? Because Ukraine bring the pain. Ain't no Victor Postol is another example of that. That's baby Vitaly Klitschko. Postol bad. Was bad before Crawford and still bad. But Crawford dominated him. The whole fight. The narrative after that fight was Crawford didn't step on the gas round 12, round 11, take him out of there. Right? Boring. You just dominated the dude that everybody said that you're not supposed to beat. that nobody's supposed to, that nobody wants to fight him. People fear him, right? Terrence Crawford gets in the fight, dominates that guy, the second best guy in the division, and is not heralded after that. We're complaining about him not stepping on the gas, just like we do Andrade, just like your boy Charlo or whoever else. It's something going on there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the biggest one we don't never have to talk about is Mayweather and Pacquiao, right? People act like that's boring. That's the narrative going around. This is a boring fight. Well, whatever. But if somebody can get Manny Pacquiao that passive and win a fight like that, then that's not boring. And every time you say you was bored, did you leave the room when Mayweather was fighting Pacquiao? That would mean that you can say it was boring. I left. I turned the channel. But if you ain't saying that, no, you weren't bored. You were at the edge of your seat. You thought if you was a Pacquiao fan, thinking he's going to land sooner or later, got disappointed. If you're a Mayweather fan and you watching boxing, you ain't bored by that. It's like, yeah, oh, he's doing what he got to do to win the fight. Damn, Pacquiao ain't landing nothing, man. Was that all he got? Round 4 or round 6? Oh, yeah, that ain't enough. 2 straight right hands in round 1 made that happen. So that wasn't boring, unless you were disappointed. Because it's boxing. Ain't nobody got to get knocked out all the time. And here, you're a Pacquiao fan. Pacquiao hadn't knocked nobody out for 9 years. But you're still a Pacquiao fan. So don't act like knockouts got something to do with it. Right? Because you rolling with your boy, he ain't knocked nobody out, right? So people are rolling with Mayweather too when he ain't knocking people out. But I guarantee you this, they're going to be bigger than him too. Just like Pacquiao. They beat people bigger than them most of the time. So they're both bad boys. But these are just examples of how a narrative throughout fight world, and when I say BTBG, it's because of things that I see. You understand? So we just register those things, and we will make you know that we know. You feel me? And that's the thing. So when Tyson Fury is saying, yeah, Wilder has to redeem himself, whatever. Wilder is still the champ. He ain't got to redeem nothing, actually. Y'all either want to fight because he's got the belt and he can unify. And if you want to beat him up. Take the title. I've seen other fights, man, where, somebody beat more, like just go watch Shannon Briggs versus George Foreman. Just for an example. Shannon Briggs versus George Foreman. George Foreman did a lot in that fight to not get that. That's a whole lot more. Just think about what George Foreman did and didn't get the nod against a way younger Shannon Briggs, right? Think about how much he did. And then compare that to what Tyson Fury did against Deontay Wilder and being knocked down twice and holler back. All right? At the end of the day, Tyson Fury should be saying these words, I'm going to knock Deontay Wilder out so it ain't no doubt. Throwing Sports Talk. Worldwide. And I'm up out of here, y'all.